In this video, I'm going to tell you about 5 things that you need to know about before you purchase your first solar battery station such as these. What's up, everybody? FC here from Drone Tech Review, and these are solar battery stations, and they are so innovative, so key that I believe every household should have one. But which one do you get? What questions do you need to ask? In this video, I'm going to go through the 5 things that you really need to answer so you can make a good buying decision. Before I get into the 5 things you need to know about, why don't I define first what a solar battery station is. It is a gas generator replacement that can do what that does and then some. And how it does it is it stores energy in batteries such as these. One of these, thousands of these are in these units, and what it does is it gets energy from somewhere, a multitude of sources, the sun, your grid, your house, your car, and then it stores it, and you can use it later and put it back on AC, DC, or USB, or even wireless power. So the first thing you need to know about is how much power can it handle, and how big is the fuel tank, and how much storage does it have. The power is measured in watts. How much watts can this thing handle? And watts is determined by what's using your source. So a 100-watt light bulb is using 100 watts, and your toaster oven is using about 800 watts. So what kind of devices do you need to run off it? And that's going to determine very quickly what size of battery storage unit you use. And the other factor goes hand in hand with this is how much storage do you want? How long are you going to run this device? How long are you going to run your toaster oven or it's a refrigerator? How much storage do you want? How big is the fuel tank that you want in this unit? And that's determined by this measure called watt hours. How many hours can you run a certain number of watts? So that determines the size of the unit. This is about a 12-pound unit, 256 watt hours on this guy, and this one is 100 pounds, and this has 3,000 watt hours of storage. So very quickly determines the size and, more important, the price. Second key consideration is how are you going to get power into these things, and how fast do you want it to fully charge from zero? So the 3 ways to get it done is with AC, with DC, or with solar, a solar panel right here. So the faster you want it charging, the more expensive it gets. And the ranges are about, a fast one is about 1.5 hours from zero, and a slow one takes about 8 hours to charge. So you determine how fast and you want to charge and from what sources. If you're going to use solar, bear in mind that solar is extra. It's not included with these guys, and they're quite expensive. They're about, for 100 watts, it costs about $200. So you multiply that as you need more solar capacity. Third thing you need to know about these units is how efficient are they? How honest are they with their claims? When they claim 1,000 watts and 1,000 watt hours on this unit, how much do you actually get out of it? So that's what I do. A lot of testing is done. I actually fully charge them and drain them. And as a standard, they're about 85% efficient from what they claim. So if it claims 1,000 watt hours, you get about 850 watt hours out of it. And that's because of quality control. There's a inverter in here that converts the energy. So that plays into the quality of these units right here. The other factors is $1 per watt hour. So for 1,000 watt hour unit, how many dollars are you paying? Used to be $1 per watt hour. Now it's about 50 cents per watt hour, and it's only going to get cheaper. Number 4 consideration is the display and app. So a display is something that's actually not super necessary, but it's nice to have. And how much information do you need? The most basic information you need is the fuel tank. How full is it? And how is it draining energy? How fast is it draining energy? How fast is it charging energy? The fancy ones have a little computer, and they calculate for you at this current rate, it's going to be drained in 6 hours, or it's going to be fully charged in 2 hours. So, and then you have a lot of control on some of them. The app allows you to have more animation, more whiz-bang features, and you can control them from another room or many feet away. Okay, the fifth I bundled up into a bunch of features and nice to have. And these are not required, but they're kind of nice to have. And the first one is called pass-through charging. If you're using it, you're watching TV out there outside. The kids are watching a nice projector screen in the garden, and you notice it's running out of energy. Can you charge it while it's draining? That's called pass-through charging. Some of them have it, and I think that's an essential piece of the puzzle. The other one is UPS mode. UPS mode is when you lose power. You have it on the grid and it's connected to your router or your desktop machine. You lose power. Can this switch over fast enough within 12 milliseconds such that it doesn't interrupt your electronic equipment? They stay booted up. And that's called UPS charging. And it protects a lot of your equipment as well from surges in electronics. A few other features are the number of ports. How many ports do you want? AC, DC, and USB-C. Does it have wireless charging? That's considered another port. So you determine the need. And some people don't need a lot of ports. You could also put an extension cord power strip on this, but it determines how you want it. A couple other features are portability. How easy it is to handle. Can you walk around with it? Does it have wheels if it's 100 pounds? Another one is the fans. How loud is the unit? Is it going to be in a quiet room? In your camper van while you're trying to sleep? Some have variable speed fans, and some have a very loud, obnoxious fan. Or even sometimes, some of them, while you're charging them, the charger itself has an obnoxious fan that never turns off. So some of these considerations. So there you go. I hope you're well versed in the key elements you're looking for when you're purchasing a power station. They're not cheap, but they're getting cheaper every month. See if it fits your lifestyle, and don't be afraid to get into the new technology. Thanks a ton.